Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As promised, I told you that I was going to show you guys what I'm going to do to prepare this hair for my install. So once again, this is the Malaysian Kinky Straight hair from Majestic Tresses. I have two 20 inches here. I have an 18 inch and a 14 inch closure. I'm on my counter in my bathroom, and all I did to prepare my surface is put down a white plastic bag, trash bag, to protect my counters from the hair dye. I have a wide tooth comb that I'm just going to use to evenly distribute the color in the hair. And to dye the hair, I'm using the Dark and Lovely permanent hair dye, and it's in jet black. See if my camera will adjust. Okay, but yeah, so it's a Dark and Lovely. I've used this before to dye my own hair, and also to dye some extensions that I've used before. So once again, this is the hair, 220s, 118, and a 14 inch closure. I have not dyed the knots of this closure. I'm still debating on whether I want to do that or whether I just want to use tweezers to clear out the knots where my part will be, and then camouflage it and conceal it with concealer or foundation. The color of the net is not bad, so it may be able to blend in with my scalp, but we shall see. So I'm going to just go ahead and apply the hair dye on the hair. I have not done anything else to the hair yet. I haven't co-washed it or anything. So I'm going to apply the dye on the hair, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what the hair looks like after that. Alright? Alright guys, so I'm back and I've just finished coloring the hair. I ended up using 3 boxes of the jet black dye. So if you plan on dyeing this hair, make sure you use 3 boxes. Now, I wanted to point something very specific out in the way that I dye my lace closure. So as you can see, everything else was dyed on the cover of the plastic bag. But as I was dyeing the hair, you see that there's color, hair color on the bag. So when you're dyeing your lace closure, and if you're using the same surface as you use to dye other pieces of your hair, you want to make sure that you protect your lace. So before I started to dye my lace closure, I laid this piece of paper under here, which is what the gloves come attached to inside the color kit, and I dyed my hair on there. Now when you dye your lace closure, you want to make sure that you use a very light hand, especially when you get up here to dye the hair that's attached directly to the lace. The ends are okay, but when you get up here, you want to be very gentle, because you don't want to press the dye into the lace. That will mess up your lace, okay? So I went in with a very light hand. You want to make sure that you actually pick up the pieces of the hair and put the dye on it, instead of just squeezing the dye all over the hair and then patting it in with your hands, because that pressure could quite possibly push the color through the lace. And also you want to not put globs. So especially when you get to the very perimeters, it's best, well, what I do is I just put the color right on my finger, on my glove finger, and I use it and I just pat it onto the perimeter of the hair just to protect the lace. And if you need to manipulate the hair while you're dyeing it, touch the outer corners of the lace. I mean, you're going to cut this off anyway, so it's okay. And so now another thing that I do with my lace is, after I'm finished applying the color, I take the lace and I flip it over. And that's just another precaution that I take, just in case I was a little heavy-handed in any places, and I may have squeezed and I have a glob of hair dye there. I don't want it to, as it sits for so long, for gravity to pull it down and for it to seep into my lace. So I flip it over and I let it continue to process that way, so that none of the color that's close to the lace will be pulled down by gravity and it'll ruin my lace. Okay, so I just wanted to share that part with you. And so here are the other bundles. I just have them balled up on top of each other. And so what I'm actually going to do with this hair, not my lace closure, just this hair, is I'm going to pull the plastic bag up and over it, so that while it processes, it stays moist and maybe the warmth from the bag will, you know, help it process better, but more so because I don't want the dye to dry out on the hair while it's processing. So I covered that up, and I'm not going to cover my lace once again because I don't want the dye to be pressed into the hair. Although you could just get a plastic bag or some plastic and just lay it right across this area. And you know, I actually am going to do that. I'm just going to get a regular old grocery bag from maybe Walmart or something, and I'm just going to lay it right over here, but I'm not going to put it over the lace. I just don't want to do anything that will disturb or destroy that lace because I don't know how to fix it, so I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so that's that. That's what I did. I put the color on using my hands in the mixing bottle, using the applicator that it came with. I didn't do anything special. Just use the bottle that it came with. Use a very light hand with my lace, and wham bam, there you go. So I'm gonna let this process for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then I'll co-wash the hair, and I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like after it's been dyed and co-washed. All right. Alright guys, so now the color has sat on the hair for about 35 minutes. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a very light shampoo and then a deep condition on the hair. So what I'm going to do first is show you guys how I wash my closures when I do color them. Also, this is another technique that I use to protect my lace. I forgot to mention, when dyeing the hair, as you saw earlier in the earlier clip, I left the little twist ties on it that the hair was sent to me in. And since I was just dyeing it a basic black color, I didn't take those twist ties off. But you want to make sure that you get in between the hair. So lay it out, spread the hair out, and get the color and really work it in there, because that hair is very, very dense. And if you just, you know, work it in on the surface layers, it's quite possible that the color will not be evenly distributed and you won't have color throughout the hair. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm going to go ahead and start my lace closure. I'm sure you guys already know how to wash color out of a bundle of hair. So this is what I really wanted to show you guys. So I'm just going to pick up my lace closure and I'm going to put it in the sink. And I'm going to, as you can see, I'm running the water at the top. Okay, I didn't flip it over and let it run the other way. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I don't want the color to run onto the lace, run down the lace, and mess up the color of the lace. So that's why I'm running it this way. And I'm just going to do that until it runs a little bit. I'm going to place my shampoo on top of the lace this way. And I'm going to work the shampoo down the hair, working through the lace and down to the ends of the hair. And that's, once again, just a technique that I use to keep from getting dye on the parts of the lace that might show when I part it and style it. Okay, so I finished washing the hair, washing the dye out of the hair and conditioning it, and this is what it looks like. The dye took really well. I know this isn't like a major difference from what it looked like when it was sent to me, but it was brown at first and now it is jet black, and the dye did take pretty good. Oh, look at my elephants back there. Say hey elephants, trunks up. All right. One thing that I did notice while this hair was wet is that the ends of the hair are straighter and silky. Now, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing or a good thing. I can't be a judge of that yet because I haven't worn the hair. So I don't know how this will play into the stylability of the hair or the look of the hair once it's installed. It's just simply an observation. So all of the hair is textured all the way down, as you can see, and then when you get to the ends, not so much. So, you know, it's kind of straight, and you can see it even better now that it's wet. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is simply hang the hair up on a hanger piece, and I'm gonna let it dry. And after it dries, I'm going to start working on my wig. And I'll use a separate video for that. In the hair, I used the Cream of Nature shampoo. And I like this shampoo because it's sulfate free. So I use this on my natural hair as well. It makes your hair very, 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 very soft because it's very moisturizing, and it's a very light shampoo. And I didn't go hard on the shampooing because the hair was clean. I just wanted to get the residual hair dye out of the hair. And to condition the hair, I went old school and I used Mane and Tail deep moisturizing conditioner. Very inexpensive conditioner. And I use this to co-wash the hair after I did my light shampoo. So I hope you guys, I hope this was a little bit helpful, especially when it came to how I dye and wash my closure to protect it from being ruined by the hair color. So I hope that was helpful. Please stay tuned, and for the video of me creating the wig, installing it, and maybe styling it. All of the information for this hair will be in the description box below. So if you're interested in purchasing this hair yourself, I'll leave the links to the website below. Once again, this is the Majestic Tresses Kinky Straight, the Malaysian Kinky Straight hair. And I have two 20-inch bundles, one 18 and a 14-inch closure. Alright, so I'll be back with you guys shortly with the next video. You guys be blessed.